Hello, I've got something interesting to take apart to have a look what's inside. This is a EasyFire detector and sounder made by SENSOTEC, the fire and safety people. Yes, let's have a look. So this hasn't been used. It's one of those fire detection domes that you can stick on your ceiling. It says warning due to calibration. The head should not be fitted as the dust cover removed into the system. Basically it's saying do not remove the dust cover until you've finished with everything else. This will not be mounted. This goes onto a plate which then connects to those pins over here. And then it works as a part of bigger system. I'm more interested to see what's inside. This is fairly heavy and must have some clever ways of detecting smoke and heat, or I'm not sure what else it might be detecting. Using the device, testing device, do's and don'ts. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look. Where can we open? There is a tab over here that I need to press and then twist it. There we go. And then there we go. So now the dome should come apart. So there we go. Interestingly, there's a sticker that says smoke heat or smoke and heat. Not sure what this would be detecting, but I can definitely see two types of sensors. One would be this and this, which is most likely an infrared sensor, and there is another one, very tiny little blob. Let me see if I can get this on camera. It's not easy. On that red wire there is a little blob. I think that might be a temperature, some kind of temperature sensor. But there is that's a LED that flashes to let you know that this is actually working and operational. Possibly it's gonna complain when the batteries are getting low. This diode, this LED, is not in a straight line into this, which is most likely a phototransistor. And when the dome is on, those go into those two holes in the dome, and there must be some sort of light path or of some sort that will get those two connected. So when some maybe smoke particles get to interrupt the beam, then this will detect it somehow. So let's have a look what's inside. It's all shielded by a nice mesh. And what's here? Oh, interesting. There's two lenses, and that's about it. Is there anything else on here? Doesn't look like it. It's pretty much just the mesh around. That's where the one LED goes. So let's have a look. If this goes on like so, there we go. So we've got an LED infrared shining through a lens, And the lens, not exactly sure what you do. Any ideas? Someone please do tell me. There is those funny ribs around. They're not symmetrical, so on some places they are angled a little bit more than anywhere else. I'm not sure if that's got anything to do with it. But here, well, this is obviously just a light path for the LED, for the status LED. What and how this works, I'm not too sure. Maybe after we open the rest of it, it will become a little bit more clear. But as I just opened this, I am slightly worried that the whole thing will be heavily potted, which basically means we don't get to see anything that's inside. So let me just have a look. I'll probably switch off recording for just a sec to see if there's an easy way of dismantling this. So be right back. Okay, I'm back, and it turns out it's not that difficult, this thing. I'll just levered it up a little bit and it unclips, so it seems like it's on some sort of clips that hold it around in a couple of spots. Really just hope not the whole thing is covered in the epoxy. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Those are the connectors. So those are the connectors that go into the board inside, and when it gets put together, here is some clips that those basically mate into the holes inside, and you could, as an engineer, wire this up permanently. I think that's the proper way of doing it, not just the pins that were sticking up through here. You see they're not here obviously because those are the pins that were sticking out. So they can basically use the screw terminals and get your wires connected to your system. There is remote LED, line in, line out, not connected, so earth. Okay, let's have a look a little bit more. Maybe some kind of sticker underneath somewhere. Now, normally if there's a sticker, don't bother peeling off the label. You can just feel it if you run your finger or nail over this, over any kind of sticker. Okay, so after breaking my Stanley knife, as you can see, I've managed to cut around the edge carefully. So there was those 1, 2, 3, 4 white tabs that were coming off of here, and that led us to the inside of it, but there is the horrible gunk pretty much everywhere, so we won't be able to see as much of the PCB. I'm sure it's really boring because it's just a piece of PCB. Nonetheless, I was hoping to see the whole PCB, and what's worse, they use the blank potting compound. Sometimes it's kind of clear, you can see through it, but this is just like the worst type of stuff ever. So this, you're never gonna get it off. I can see some some ICs underneath, but what they are we will never know. Strangely, I haven't potted the whole thing, so it's just been slapped on. Oh, I think there is a massive, might be actually a processor, because I think it's a what are they called, QFP, one of those square packages. I think it's just right here, judging on the shape of the potting compound on top of it. I'm not sure if you can pick that up, but just right there. I think that might be something semi-interesting. I think a lot of this stuff is pretty dumb, but this seems definitely a bit more advanced than just a regular detector. Probably mainly because it will communicate through... Actually it won't. I thought it might be communicating with like a fire control panel, but this, I think all it does is sets the alarm off, so it's fully contained unit within one piece. All it gets is power pretty much. You can have a line out. I think those can be connected on a line that only if you trip that line it will set off the main alarm panel and call the fire services or whatnot. Okay, this alarm thingy, in the instruction manual there was a little block diagram of how to get those connected. So basically what you've got is the alarm control panel. There is a earth connected, obviously it's all has to be earthed. That's just one wire that goes to all modules, however modules you can have on there. I don't think there is a limit, but you can just daisy chain them one from another. And then there is 0 volt, so that's probably just like a negative or whatnot, and plus goes line in plus line out plus line in. So basically it goes into this one and goes out and goes into the next one, goes up, goes into the next one. So basically if you've got a lot of those, all you need is 3 wires essentially, or 2 wires and earth if the earth is available, and you don't have a whole mess of wires. It's just pretty much straightforward installation to get it set up. What I've read on this as well is that this has got like multiple levels of detection and different sounder melodies, I guess you can call them, different sirens. So I'm really tempted to actually power this up. I'm assuming this will be like 12 volt part. I hope so. Actually, let's try to power this up, see what happens. Okay, so I've hooked some wires up to this to see if we can power this up and hear it. If it's gonna be annoying, I will not keep it on. I'm just gonna get this connected to a ATX power supply that I use for powering up random items. There we go. Is the power supply plugged in? No, it's not. Let's plug that in. I should have plugged it in before I started recording the video. Okay, that's working now, so let's stick this back in the way it's supposed to go and see what happens. What? Nothing. It does say in the manual that it needs between 15 and 20 volts DC, which sucks a little bit because I haven't got that, but maybe let me see, this is an old 80 power supply, so it should have negative, I think, 12 volts. So let me see what I can magic out from that. Yep, we've got negative 12 and we've got plus 5. So if we do negative 12 to plus 5, that will give us 17 volts, which should be just right. Oh, strange, I could just see the LED. Come on. Maybe it was just a glare. Let's see. I'm gonna see very quickly. I can't fit the multimeter under the camera. I'm gonna see very quickly if we get the right voltage on here. So I think that's somewhere here and here. Here we get. Oh, this power supply is so short. I pulled it out of 386 computer. I've got minus 12 and plus 5. I should get 17. I'm getting 15.6 volts. So quite a bit far off. Oh, the LED came on. I did see that again. Why does it come on only? Strange. That was connected for a while. So let me see if that's got anything to do with it. I keep it for about 10-15 seconds. Oh, it blinked. I did see that. Okay, so it is working. It was blinking faintly. I'm not getting any. Oh, there we go. It came on. Hey, something's happening. Presumably, if I cover up if I cover the path so nothing gets through from LED to the phototransistor. Oh, weird. It seems like it's a little bit intermittent, so I think this whole thing might be actually shot. Let's try again. Probably it's just not getting enough voltage, so I'm gonna have to make myself another power supply. I've got some PCs to rip apart. It seems like it wants to do something because the LED blinks occasionally. let me see, because this power supply is so short. Let me see if I can connect it a little bit differently and see if I can get any more voltage. Be right back. Okay, I've connected it up to plus and minus 12 volts, so I'm getting here, or I should be getting 24 volts difference, but I'm getting 21.6, but the instruction manual says that this will work up to 28 volts, so this should be just fine. So we've got more volts. Come on, give me a blink. Now it came on-ish. That's not gonna work. I think my power supply is short because I can feel it making noises. So let me switch that off. Okay, never mind, I'll look for a better power supply, maybe come back to this. Well, I was hoping to see something more interesting inside. Unfortunately, this is probably as far as it gets, because this whole thing is potted. It's not only on the top of it. I think this whole black plastic was pre-filled with potting, and then the PCB gets put on top of it, because I can see there's this gunk is inside. There's a lot of it. So this is pretty much full. It's only strange that over on top of it over here it's not covered. Oh well, I was hoping for to see something interesting, but I get to see nada. So thank you very much, whoever is spotting it. I'm sure it's a requirement for fire safety equipment. But yeah, okay. I'll have to look for something else to tear apart. Take care.